Hi, my name is Jen, and today I want to share rules 7 and 8 out of my 12 rules to live a better life. So my 7th rule is to cultivate a hobby. This rule is pretty self-explanatory. I think that it's really important though, because I think that having a hobby or several hobbies provides us with a break, a chance for relaxation. It's fun, and I think it really helps to make you happy and keep you happy. And so I really think that it helps to just really recharge us, and I think there's lots of times when that's needed. And I think just for overall good mental health, recharging your battery is just really nice. So there's many different types of hobbies, and I think some of this also builds off of Rule 4, which it really goes into self-care. Some categories for hobbies include sports. So if you like to go to the gym with some friends and play some basketball or work out with them or something, if you like to read, if you like music and you like to play instruments, or if you have a band or something, that can be a hobby. Putting together puzzles, woodworking, or building like model airplanes or trains or cars or whatever else. That's another type of hobby. Arts and crafts are another big category of hobbies, like painting or drawing. As a parent, one of my goals is to really provide my children with a chance to be exposed to a lot of these different types of hobbies and also kind of skills. So I really want to make sure as I'm raising them and as they're growing up, they're being exposed to different art classes, music, sports or exercise, just lots of different kind of extracurricular activities. So that way they're learning and kind of expanding their mind, they're developing a skill, but they're also able to figure out what their hobby is or what their hobbies are. And then that way they'll be set as they go off to be adults. They'll have ways to recharge their batteries and just kind of have fun, and also possibly have other social opportunities as well to be able to connect with other people. So that's something that's really important to me as a parent. I also really want to make sure that I encourage them throughout their education to pursue lots of different classes. So I think this becomes more of an option in middle school and high school when they have a little bit more choice over their classes. But I definitely want to encourage them to not only explore kind of more of the academic type topics like math and science and English and history and social studies. Those are very, very important for sure. But I also want to make sure that they are taking some type of class in art, music, performing arts, shop, just any of those types of things as well, just so they are able to develop some other skills and have a chance to try out some other things. I think in school that's a great time and opportunity to try some things out for free. And so I really want to make sure that they're able to take advantage of that, because once you get out of high school and even college and stuff, it's really hard to have some time set aside for different things like that, and oftentimes it does cost money. So I really want to make sure that they're able to take advantage of a lot of the things now, and that way they won't have to invest so much later. If you aren't sure what types of hobbies you may like, you can join gyms, you can get together with friends to exercise and see if you like any like sporting things like volleyball or basketball. You can take some art classes. Sometimes there's some free ones available. A lot of times they do cost a little bit of money, but that may be something to look into. You can go to a craft store or something and look down a lot of their aisles. They have some woodworking things, they have scrapbooking, they have painting, drawing, kind of whatever it is that you want, and you can kind of teach yourself if you want to do that. But those are just some other ways to explore and kind of have an outlet for something that's a little bit more fun. So I definitely like that. And rule number 8 is to always try to find the positive. And this one can be really hard. I'm not always successful, but it is definitely what I strive for. So I think that there's many benefits. It leads, I think, to greater positivity, happiness, productivity. I think that there's a lot less misunderstandings because if you're trying to find the positive and you're kind of giving people the benefit of the doubt, I feel like you're not going to be making really mean, kind of negative, awful assumptions about people. So when you interact with people, you are more likely to have a positive, productive encounter than if you come to that encounter with more of a negative viewpoint. So I think that that really helps out quite a bit. I think that this also really helps out. I know that in counseling, this is something that as counselors and therapists, we're really encouraged to look for the positive, to have unconditional positive regard for our clients, to believe in them, to hope in them, and to really try and help them in as many ways as possible. And so I really think that the more we're able to apply this in our everyday life, the better. So I really came up with rule number 8 really from kind of my training in counseling and psychology and mental health. While I do as a person generally try to be positive, I was really impacted and encouraged by the concept of unconditional positive regard and 2 other theories. I really like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and rational emotive behavioral therapy, or REBT. And I really like those theories. There's a lot of research behind them. They're very effective and kind of popular and stuff because they're so effective. But one thing that they really point out and stress is that our thoughts and with rational emotive behavioral therapy, our emotions affect our behaviors and our actions. And I think that that's really kind of the key or the basis of this rule. The more that we can think positively, the better we're going to interact with others. So the way that we think and then the way that those thoughts affect our emotions and shape our emotions, the more that'll also then translate into how we act and how we behave around others. And so I think that the more we can try to be positive, the better will be for us and for society. I do want to just add as well that I don't want this to encourage superficiality or emotional numbness. I don't want to try and push the message that you should just be positive all the time or anything like that. I definitely have days where I don't feel good or where I get frustrated by something or someone or whatever else. And I found that when I'm able to just acknowledge those feelings and emotions and responses and maybe just express them for a little bit or just feel them for a little bit, then I'm able to move on much quicker. And so I acknowledge the emotions, even if they're negative, I acknowledge them. I maybe will feel them for a little bit, but my goal is to not stay negative. So even if I'm upset by somebody, I'll be upset, I'll let myself be upset. But when I go to interact with that person, I really want to make sure that I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and I'm not jumping to conclusions or putting them in any type of a box or anything like that. So I definitely think it's good to be positive. I think there's a lot of benefits and it affects the way that we behave. but I don't want us to just pretend to be positive or be positive at the expense of our emotions. Hopefully that makes sense. I will cover this point a little bit more in a later rule though, so stay tuned for that. So those are rules 7 and 8. I hope that you enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think about these rules, if you have any questions. I hope that as I'm going through and sharing some of my rules, I hope that you're encouraged or challenged to come up with your own rules as well. And if you do, I'd love to hear what they are, so please leave them in the comments down below. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.